Well, I hate to like pivot on boobs and be so creepy, but one of the things that struck me about Return of the Living Dead was the incredible amount of nudity in the form of that one character who took her clothes off early and never put them back on.
I need. Hang on, I gotta.
Do you remember
I
that?
have. This has been probably over a decade since I've seen this movie. So
It was not what I expected, Return of the Living Dead, but I really enjoyed it. Um, let's see.
I know that it. Let's see here.
1985. And I was curious because I had heard recently, so it's billed as a horror comedy, that it was something of a spoof. And I think we talked about recently how it's like where the brains thing was introduced that
Yep.
became part of the general zombie lore. Um, but I didn't realize that it took place in the 80s and was this kind of like in the opening scenes and stuff. They're sort of saying that they're talking about Night of the Living Dead and like, oh, that was true and all this. So it's this weird meta thing. And then I was noticing like
We're talking
there's like a
about this lady,
gang
right?
here. Yeah, I'm probably it's got to be the same lady, Mr. Skin.
Oh yeah.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is crazy. Can we talk about Linnea Quigley's Barbie doll crotch in the Return of the Living Dead? Yeah, that really threw me for a loop. I was not prepared for any of that. In 1985, I like you would think it to be more hair than less.
Yeah.
So to see that completely Barbie doll thing, just that amount of full frontal nudity, I was not was not prepared for.
I'm surprised I don't remember that at all. I probably remember her dancing because she like dances on a grave, right? That's what she's doing
Yeah,
on that thing. And
yeah,
I remember, is this the like get that damn screwdriver out of my head? Like, do they make that joke in there, or is that one of the? It's probably
I'm
the
not
sequel.
sure.
Does he have a
Might have
head
been
in
the
a
sequel.
bag? Like, is there a head in a bowling bag?
No, not well,
No.
not that I recall. At
Okay.
a certain point, there are body parts chopped up into garbage bags that the guy is saying are weevils or weasels or something like that are
Yeah.
got rabies that they need to incinerate. um, but what I wasn't, yeah, I just wasn't prepared. So what does this say? So what pushed me over the edge though was I think on the lunch meat like Instagram page, it had a picture of some cemetery and something very specific about the date and perhaps holding up the movie. I don't know how I connected it to the movie. Oh, it's a couple things. That's a long walk that you don't need. But I got the idea that this movie took place on this date that I was seeing these images, July 3rd. And so I was like, this came up with Palmer. I don't have a particular thing that I got to watch for sure tonight in my sort of weird, like working through whatever. So I'm like, well, let me just try this. It's on HBO Max. Let's do it. And so I watched it and was really delighted and just kind of I didn't realize it was going to be an 80s movie. And so like 1985.
Oh, and it's
August
like pure,
1985.
it's like pure 80s too.
Yeah, like because the kids are all dressed. I was like, this seems like the Dark Knight in terms of like the punk kids and stuff. Like, are they referencing? I'm gonna see what year this came out. The Dark Knight Returns came out in. And I was like questioning the timelines of all this stuff. Like, when did Day of the Dead, George Romero's like 80s zombie movie, come out? And it was 1985. I think it was like maybe the month before or something like that. But so 86. So okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dark Knight, no.
Maybe Dark Knight spoofed that. Spoofed Return of the Living Dead.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe Frank Miller was like, look at how these kids are dressed in this fucking Barbie doll zombie. But yeah, I don't know. I was just really entertained by it. There's this one guy. So like Gulager, I had seen, he's a very kind of arch guy. He plays the guy who owns not it's not a funeral home, or like, what
It's
is
like
it that
I don't know. It's like a science repository or something, right? Like,
yeah, yeah, where they supposedly had one of the whatever it was that sparked the flesh eaters or whatever the fuck, the zombie outbreak that was chronicled in Night of the Living Dead. But I had seen him. He's in he the same year he's in Into the Night, this movie with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer, directed by John Landis, that I always liked. And he kind of plays the same guy. He just, does a different thing. And so he caught my attention. Anyway, I recognize a lot of the people, and I just fell right into the kind of 80s vibe of it. But I just didn't know the 80s was going to be a part of it, if that makes sense. I don't know what I expected, but I was really delighted and I had a really great time with it. And so much so that I attempted to make popcorn, not microwave popcorn, but like something someone gave us, a kit. And I tried it one other time recently. It didn't go so well. And I was like, let me try this again. And it went a little better. I burnt it a little less. And I even I had like one drink too many and regretted it. Even during, I'm like, I'm not even enjoying this. I'm gonna feel like shit tomorrow. But this is a fun movie, and I got popcorn. I was really happy when it was all happening. So I was glad to have the opportunity to kind of follow through on that and enjoy this movie I'd always heard about, but never seen.